Beauty is nothing but filter upon filter. Beauty is a filtered reality. The world is not beautiful or ugly until the filters arrive. A woman appears, a thousand filters begin. When I say beauty is nothing but filter upon filter, I mean that you have never once seen a human being directly. You have only seen your conditioning reacting to a shape. A woman walks into the room. Immediately, biology reacts, memory reacts, culture reacts, pornography reacts, movies react, loneliness reacts, ego reacts, comparison reacts, fantasy reacts. And all of this happens so fast that you mistake the reaction for truth. You say she's beautiful. No. What you are really saying is, my conditioning approves of this arrangement. That is very different. When I say beauty is a filtered reality, I mean reality itself contains no labels. Reality does not whisper, this woman is a 10, this man is ugly, this skin tone is superior, this face deserves worship. Reality is silent. The label come from human minds. To one tribe, large bodies were attractive. To another, thinness became attractive. One era worshipped pale skin, another worshipped tanning. One culture elongated necks, another compressed feet, another tattooed faces. If beauty were truth, it would remain constant. But beauty changes with geography, history, media, economics, status, and collective hypnosis, which means you are not seeing truth, you are seeing programming. When I say the world is not beautiful or ugly until the filters arrive, I mean existence simply is. The sunset is not trying to impress you. The flower is not asking for validation. The ocean does not know it is beautiful. Beauty happens in the observer, not in the thing itself. A child sees mud and plays. An adult sees dirt and disgust. Same mud, different filters. Likewise, one man sees a woman and becomes obsessed. Another sees the same woman and feels nothing. If beauty were absolute, both would react identically. But they do not. Because they are not reacting to reality, they are reacting to their filters. And when I say a woman appears, a thousand filters begin, I mean the seeing ends instantly. The mind rushes in like a commentator. She is out of my league. She would complete me. I need her attention. She resembles my ex. Other men probably want her. I hope she notices me. She is perfect. Now the woman is gone. Only mental noise remains. You are no longer in contact with reality. You are in contact with memory. This is why most people never truly meet each other. They meet projections. A man rarely sees a woman. He sees his fantasies, his wounds, his insecurities, his biology, his loneliness, his social conditioning. And then he calls the entire experience love, beauty, chemistry. No, it is mostly unconscious interpretation. To see clearly is rare. To see without filters is almost unheard of. And yet, the moment you begin noticing the filters, their spell weakens. Not because beauty disappears, but because hypnosis begins to disappear. You do not suffer because a woman is beautiful. You suffer because the mind has turned beauty into meaning. A face appears, light hits the eyes, nerves fire, hormones move, and then the mind arrives like a thief and says, this matters, this is valuable, this can complete me, this means I am worthy, this means I am unworthy. The suffering is not in the woman, the suffering is in the interpretation. A tiger does not write poetry about symmetry. A tree does not feel inferior before fair skin. The nervous system reacts, that is biology. But psychology hacks biology and turns it into identity. That is where illusion begins. You ask, what are the filters? There are thousands. But let us expose a few of the major ones. The symmetry filter. The mind sees balance in facial structure and translates it into value. But symmetry is merely geometry. Two eyes aligned, jaw proportions, skin texture, ratios. The mind then says, symmetry is superior human. Why? Because biology evolved to associate certain markers with health and reproduction. But biology is not truth. It is survival coding. A flower attracts bees. That does not make the flower spiritually superior. The fair skin filter. Fairness became associated with status in many societies, not truth, status. Historically, Lighter skin meant less outdoor labor. Less labor implied wealth. Wealth became desirable. Desire became beauty. Then movies amplified it. Advertising industrialized it. Culture hypnotized generations with it. Now our nervous system reacts automatically, not because fairness is truth, because repetition became conditioning. The mind mistakes familiarity for reality. The scarcity filter. You do not merely see beauty, you see, what if I never get this again? Scarcity intensifies attraction. The mind turns a person into oxygen, not because they are oxygen, because psychologically you have linked them to completion. The validation filter. This is the deepest one. You are not looking at the woman, you are looking at yourself through her eyes. If she wants me, I matter. If she rejects me, I am nothing. So attraction becomes self-worth evaluation. This is why rejection burns, not because of loss, because identity was attached. The movie filter. Cinema trained humanity. Slow motion entrances, music, perfect lighting, romantic tension. The mind no longer sees a woman. It sees a fantasy architecture built from thousands of scenes absorbed unconsciously since childhood. You are not reacting to reality, you are reacting to accumulated imagery. The comparison filter. The mind compares constantly. Can I get her? Am I attractive enough? Am I inferior to other men? Now the woman disappears entirely. Only ego remains. The possession filter. Beauty creates the urge to own, to have her. Why? Because the ego believes possession grants permanence, but even possession cannot end fear. Men marry beautiful women and still remain empty, because emptiness was never caused by lack of beauty. The biological filter. This one is real. Hormones, dopamine, sexual polarity, reproductive instinct. Do not become foolish and deny biology. The body reacts, but biology reacting is different from psychological slavery. Hunger exists, addiction is extra, sexual energy exists, identity around it is extra. The memory filter. One attractive girl from the past, one rejection, one compliment, one humiliation. Now every beautiful woman carries echoes of old wounds. You are not seeing her, you are seeing accumulated memory projected onto her. The social proof filter. If many men desire her, the mind says she must be valuable. Crowd psychology. Humans borrow perception from the tribe. Very few truly see with their own eyes. The fantasy filter. The mind never stops at appearance. Immediately it creates future scenarios. Romance, sex, admiration, status, emotional completion. The suffering comes not from seeing, but from imagination. And now comes the deeper truth. You cannot force yourself to see woman as just woman. That itself becomes another ideology, another resistance, another suppression. The seeing changes naturally when illusion is seen completely, not intellectually, directly. When you truly see that the mind has layered biology, culture, memory, status, ego, validation, fantasy, fear, scarcity, comparison over a simple human form, something quiet begins to happen. The fever reduces, not because you became numb, but because you started seeing. Then beauty becomes lighter, cleaner, without psychological begging attached to it. You can appreciate beauty without becoming enslaved by it, like seeing a sunset, like hearing music. No ownership, no self worth attached, no desperation, just perception. Reality itself is silent. The mind is the commentator, and most men have mistaken the commentator for truth. Listen, a monk once took his student to a marketplace. The student was young, restless, burning with hunger he did not understand. As they walked through the streets, a woman passed by. The student froze. His breath changed, his chest tightened. The world suddenly became brighter. The monk looked at him and smiled. Did you see her? The student whispered. The monk replied, No, I saw light reflecting off a body. You saw heaven. The student was disturbed. How can you say that? She was beautiful. The monk picked up a golden cup from a nearby shop. He held it toward the student. What do you see? A beautiful cup. The monk smashed it onto the ground. Now the gold bent inward, its shades distorted. What do you see now? A damaged cup. The monk smiled. And yet the gold remains unchanged. The student fell silent. The monk continued. You are hypnotized by arrangement, a certain arrangement of eyes, a certain arrangement of skin, a certain arrangement of symmetry, and the mind screams, beauty. But tell me, if the nose shifts slightly, if the skin darkens slightly, if time wrinkles the face slightly, does the human disappear or only your hypnosis? The student said nothing. They continued walking. Soon they passed a jewelry store. Inside was a diamond under bright lights. People crowded around it in awe. The monk asked, "Why does the diamond shine so much?" "Because it is valuable." The monk laughed softly. "No, because the lights were designed for your eyes. The advertisements were designed for your mind. The stories were designed for your insecurity. A stone became sacred because humans agreed to hallucinate together." Then the monk pointed toward the woman who had passed earlier. "The same has happened there." The student looked confused. The monk said, "When you saw her, you did not merely see her face. You saw every movie you ever watched, every song, every fantasy, every rejection, every lonely night, every comparison with other men, every desire to be chosen, every fear of being unworthy. Thousands of ghosts rushed onto her face at once, and you called that beauty." The student felt exposed. The monk continued, "A thirsty man in a desert sees water in a mirage. The water is not the illusion. The meaning projected onto shimmering light is the illusion. Likewise, the body is real. The hypnosis is illusion." The student asked quietly, "Then why does it feel so powerful?" The monk pointed toward a dog chewing a bone. "Have you seen a dog chew a dry bone?" "Yes." The dog's gums begin bleeding. It tastes blood and believes the bone is feeding him. But the blood was always his own. The monk looked directly into the student's eyes. "You think beauty is giving you life, but most often it is merely activating your own unmet hunger." Night fell. The marketplace became quieter. The monk lit a candle. "Look carefully," he said. The student stared at the flame. "What do you see?" "A flame." The monk blew it out. Darkness. "Where does the beauty go?" The student said. "It disappeared." The monk shook his head. "No. The mind requires contrast to create fascination. Light against dark, symmetry against asymmetry, scarcity against loneliness. The mind is an artist of division. Reality itself is silent." Then the monk said something the student would never forget. "One day you will see a beautiful woman and realize nothing happened. Only light entered the eyes. Only sensation moved through the body. And the mind, for once, did not turn sensation into slavery." The student asked softly, "Is beauty false then?" The monk smiled. "No, beauty is real, but psychological dependence upon beauty is illusion." And in that moment, for the first time, the student did not feel the urge to possess beauty. He simply watched the wind move through the trees, and somehow it was enough. In the end, the deepest realization is not that beauty is fake. It is that your relationship to beauty was unconscious. A woman appears, and instantly the mind covers her with memory, fantasy, comparison, biology, validation, status, loneliness, fear, hope. 1,000 filters. Then the mind says, "This is reality." No, reality was only light, shape, movement, color, sound. Everything else was added. The moment you begin seeing the filters, you stop being possessed by them. You no longer look at beauty like a starving man looks at food. You simply see, and in that seeing, something strange happens. Beauty remains, but psychological slavery disappears. Then, for the first time, you are not relating to women through desperation, comparison, or self worth. You are relating from clarity, and clarity is quiet. Reality has always been quiet. Only the mind was noisy.